Hello out there in Zoom land. Welcome to the Rancho Cordova Luncheon. Diane is the engineer at the wheel here, and she's going to tell me when folks have been able to join us. We are awaiting one more candidate because, as you know, today we will be having our campaign whistle stop. So welcome back to Campaign Whistle Stop and the Rancho Cordova Luncheon, which has met every third Friday for, let me see, 60 some years. A very proud Rancho Cordova tradition. I want to take a few moments to say thank you to our sponsors today. We have two sponsors. One of them is Golden State Water. The other is Murphy Austin. You'll hear from both of them a little bit more later. But first I wanted to start out with thanking our friends at Golden State Water, one of the great partners of the Cordova Community Council and Rancho Cordova Chamber, a past winner of our Business Partner of the Year Award. I had a great shower this morning. I want to thank you, Golden State, for that. But more than a reliable provider of water, when something good is happening in Rancho Cordova, Golden State is never far away. So Paul today has asked a friend to step in for him, and that is Mike Passoff, another great local businessman from B&J Auto. So Mike, the screen is yours.
Great, Shelley. Thank you very much. In the interest of keeping things concise here and moving forward with our time schedule, I'm going to do some reading, but try to have it be a little bit animated. But first of all, I am Mike Passoff. I'm the president of the Rotary Club of Rancho Cordova. I would first off like to thank Golden State Water for sponsoring today's Whistle Stop event and sharing their time slot here for us today for the Rotary Club to make a very special presentation to a very special member of our community, and that is you, Miss Shelley Blanchard. Shelley has been a member of the Rotary family for many, many years, as her father, Bob Lang, was a lifelong member of our club. Shelley has been instrumental in recent months helping our club move forward with the technological challenges of Zoom meetings. She continues to be a strong supporter and engaged participant of the Rotary mission. Today, we are honoring Shelley as a Paul Harris Fellow and bestowing upon her an honorary membership of our club. The presentation of Paul Harris Fellow recognition is the Rotary Foundation's way of expressing its appreciation for a substantial contribution to its humanitarian and educational programs. It is named for our founder, Paul Harris, a Chicago lawyer who started Rotary International with 3 business associates in 1905. Today, we move closer to a world of peace and goodwill as Shelley becomes a Paul Harris Fellow. Shelley, your gifts of engagement and support to our club and mission to grow education and humanitarian programs throughout the world are truly selfless actions that demonstrate your commitment to our mutual goals. It is because of your commitments that our Rotary Foundation is able to carry out an array of programs that achieve beneficial changes in our world to affect improved living conditions, increased food production, better education, greater treatment for the sick and disabled, and higher hopes of international peace. In becoming a Paul Harris Fellow, you join a family of well over 950,000 Paul Harris Fellows worldwide. Besides many of our members in our local club, you stand with such notable members as Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, Pope John Paul II, all of whom have been recognized for their devotion to the ideals of goodwill, peace, and understanding. I have the great honor to present you with this emblem. Yeah, one right here. Someday we'll actually get to pin it on your lapel and hang it over your neck, whatever is necessary or appropriate there. This is a symbol of appreciation and thank you for making a difference in our community and in the lives of the less fortunate around the world. I congratulate you on behalf of the Rotary Club of Rancho Cordova and for your commitment to the program and mission of the Rotary Foundation. Thank you very, very much.
Wow. Well, thank you, Mike, and all the wonderful people at Rancho Cordova Rotary. This is a beautiful surprise, and it's an honor to work with such devoted people, and I never thought I'd be in the same club as Mother Teresa, so that makes it super special. And thanks for coming today and surprising me with this. This is beautiful. And I know my dad is up there somewhere looking down on this as a proud Rotarian. You mentioned that, saying,
Absolutely.
they let women in that club? So thank you so much. I'm really quite honored. Thank you so much.
Very much appreciate all your efforts and energy out there.
Whew, okay, well, thank you. That was a wonderful way to start today, if I do say so myself. Let me just make a couple of announcements on behalf of the Cordova Community Council. So we're just in the final 2 weeks of our summer concert series, Mineshaft Live, one of the very few opportunities to enjoy live music during the COVID era. The twist, well, you enjoy the concert from the safety of your vehicle. So this Saturday, we have Take Two, a fun top 40 band taking the stage. Next week is C.C. Seeger, a Bob Seger, Creedence Clearwater Revival tribute band, and then we go away until next summer. So the weather is great finally, not too much smoke, the outing is fun, the music is spectacular, so load up a car and come and join us. Visit our website for tickets. COVID demystified. Think you know everything there is to know about the coronavirus? Think again. Dr. David Sander, our mayor, and quite possibly the only mayor on the planet who also holds a doctoral degree in virology, will explain what's behind all this via Zoom at 6 p.m. Tuesday, September 29th. This is a fascinating presentation. I have seen it, and I guarantee you will learn something new. Dr. Sander will take questions in the Q&A function. It's a special evening edition of the Rancho Cordova Luncheon. Watch for the sign-up invitation next week. Also, for all you Zoomers, we will take a deeper dive with the Rancho Cordova City Council candidates via Zoom at 6 p.m. Wednesday, October 7th, during Conversations with the Candidates, a series of 15-minute sessions with all of the candidates wanting to be on your city council. The candidates have been provided with some prepared questions to allow for some thoughtful answers, but we will also take questions from you in the Q&A function. Don't fill out your ballot until you hear what they have to say. Watch for the sign-up invitation next week. The arts are alive. They live. We invite you to stop by the Mill Station Arts and Culture Center, the MAC, beginning October 8th for a new photo exhibit called Click, featuring the best in photography from around the region. This exhibit will also include a vintage camera exhibit, so plan to stop by between October 8th and 24th. Visit rcmac.org for gallery hours and safety rules. And finally, with October right around the corner, we invite you to get tickets for Heartstoppers 2020. Our usual haunted house is taking a COVID break, but you will want to try out our zombie laser tag drive-through. That's right, you stay in your vehicle and use laser tag guns for scary shootouts as you wind through an elaborate Halloween course. It will be wild. Visit heartstoppershauntedhouse.com for all the gory details and tickets, and watch your email for updates. The tickets are already selling. Several hundred have already gone, I'm told. So don't delay getting yours for this totally beautiful ride. That's all for now from the Cordova Community Council. Diane, what's happening at the Chamber? You're muted, my friend.
Unmute. How about that? Does that work?
There you go. Thank you.
Go. So good afternoon, everybody. It is so wonderful to see and hear from so many of you. The Chamber is busy working on our golf tournament, which will be this next Friday, the 25th. Still an opportunity for golfers, and we have special pandemic pricing for some of our sponsorships, all of our sponsorships and our foursomes as well. So if you're interested, give the Chamber a call or reach out to us and let us know. The other thing I'd like to do is just encourage anyone who's interested in Leadership Rancho Cordova. We're accepting applications now. It'll be an abbreviated class going from January to June. And so everything will still have the same content, but we're kind of consolidating things just a little bit. So if you're interested in that, let us know. And then before I thank our sponsor, I just do want to have a special shout out to all those diamond investors and sponsors who have kept the chamber going, supported us, encouraged us in so many different ways. We're so, so grateful for that. So what I'd like to do now is say a special thanks to Murphy Austin. Scott Alexander is the chair of our board of directors, and he's with Murphy Austin, and show you just a quick 15-second video and for them to be able to say thanks. So give me just a sec here. Review, share screen. There.
Murphy Austin Adams Schoenfeld LLP, focusing on business law and commercial litigation, places the highest value on meaningful client relationships. More information available at murphyaustin.com.
All right. Well, hopefully you all got to see and hear that.
Yep.
And perfect. So that one worked this time. So I am going to work on letting our final candidate come in, and while you guys go ahead and get things set up and go. So thank you very much.
Wow, we're so fancy. We had a real live commercial this month. That's progress, right? So I wanted to let's round up and get our whistle stop on track. So as you are watching, there's over 70 people in the room with us today. So that's a great number. We are showing all of the candidates should be visible to you. So as I call your name, just for a quick introduction, just give a wave so people know we are talking about you. So we've got Siri Pulapati, she's here. We have Jack Zwald is with us. Garrett Gatewood is our vice mayor, and he's going to be talking about Measure R. We have Robert McGarvey is with us today. Dr. David Sander is with us today. And who am I missing? I think we're waiting for Donald Terry to arrive, correct? Did I get everybody? Josh Wood is with us as well, and he will be taking the pro position on Measure R. So it's time to leave the station for a whistle-stop tour of the Rancho Cordova City Council race and Rancho Cordova Measure R. Camping Whistle Stop is a Rancho Cordova tradition dating back more than 20 years, but whistle stops date back to the 1800s when candidates would tour from town to town, stopping briefly for a campaign speech before moving on. My photo is actually of Teddy Roosevelt on the campaign trail in the early 1900s. It's in the spirit of this great American tradition that our candidates, which are aboard the Zoom train today, will have 3 minutes to win your vote. So listen closely. This will be moving fast, and candidates, I recommend you be fascinating. Now, we have another person on our screen, and that is the conductor, and that is Lydia. And Lydia, give a wave, and so people can see who you are. Yeah, you can hear her for sure. On your screen, you will see Lydia. She will be introducing the candidates and will also keep our train on time. So when she displays a green card, you have 2 minutes left. When she displays a yellow card, you are down to 1 minute. And when she displays a red card, you're done. If you don't stop, the train whistle will blow and we will leave the station whether you're talking or not. So and then we'll be on to the next stop. So all aboard for campaign whistle stop. So Lydia, would you like to read the introduction of our first candidate?
Absolutely, Shelley. So our first candidate is Donald Childs. He has lived in Rancho Cordova since 1973. He attended Rancho Cordova Elementary, Mills Middle School, and Cordova High. And he was scheduled to lead off our campaign whistle stop, but he had to withdraw yesterday to handle a family matter. So we are sorry that he is unable to attend. So then, instead of Mr. Childs, we're going to have Mr. Robert McGarvey join us first. Incumbent Robert McGarvey, or Bob as he prefers, has served as a Rancho Cordova City Council member since the city's incorporation in 2003. He has served as mayor and as a vice mayor 4 times each. And he has certainly been a steadfast Rancho Cordovan since purchasing a home here in 1967. After serving in the Air Force for 6 years, he worked for Pac Bell for 33 years, then committed his early retirement years to substitute teaching with Folsom Cordova Unified School District. Bob enjoys outdoor activities and playing the piano. I had no idea, Bob, we should do a duet sometime. He and his wife, Terry, have 4 children and 8 grandchildren. All aboard for Bob.
Hi. Well, thank you very much. One thing that I'm very happy to say is we have this whistle stop. I know we've been working on these for quite a while, and it's always fun. It's a little bit different this time, like it is every place else, when you're looking at a screen rather than looking at people. But I'm glad you're all here. The one thing to me that is the most important right now is getting stability. We don't have the stability that we've had when we started this year. If you look at the way it's set up right now, we have very few people who go to any meetings, except looking like we are right now. And it's kind of uncomfortable sometimes for people. I know I have 3 grandkids in my house right now. We teach kindergarten, 6th grade, 8th grade, and actually we're just watching and making sure everything is kept on track with the teachers. The other part about this thing is we have been changing direction. We became a city in July 1, 2003. We have been working for 17 years to get caught up on 50 years delayed maintenance, which we had when we first became a city. There's going to be so many things. The first year, for instance, we had 57, and then we counted 600 abandoned homes in Rancho Cordova. So those were caught up. Right now, we're trying to get some stability and some comfort with people who began this year very normal. Well, it's not normal anymore. It hasn't been for a long time. Right now, we have safety. Well, it's police, but it's also safe sidewalks, and police are helping with traffic control. And then streets, we want them to be safe. Volunteers, that's the thing that keeps Rancho Cordova going. We've had almost 1,000 kids or people volunteering for the Air Force, the air show rather. Veterans, I've been working on getting veterans a place here in Rancho Cordova for a long time. This is a military city. We've had with Mayfair Air Force Base. We have been moving the homeless veterans, getting them off the streets. We built 100 apartments. Those are all occupied. Next month, we're going to open up the 2nd story of the building, and I have 50 more beds for that. I'm going to continue working for veterans on that, and we make sure that they have a voice. They live in this apartment. It's only a block from the VA hospital. You know, something happened that you can look at this city. We have been a city for 17 years. In 2008 to 2012, we had a great recession. In 13 to 17, we had a great drought. And now this year, 2020, we have the coronavirus. So thank you all for being here. And I'll get to talk a little bit later, I imagine. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob.
Very good. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Okay, we're rolling down the track. Lydia, who's up next?
Next up is Siri Pulapati. She is a senior engineer for Intel. She's lived in Rancho Cordova for nearly 20 years. She doesn't even look that old. She has served as a volunteer mentoring in schools, promoting activities in science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, and has worked with local nonprofits. Siri is a mother of 2 young children and enjoys spending time with them outdoors. All aboard for Siri.
Well, thank you. Well, congratulations, Shelley, being on the same page with Mother Teresa. Awesome. So here we are at the whistle stop, as Shelley mentioned, where politicians were campaigning off the back of a train car going from city to city. And here we are today talking to you from the comfort of our own home through a Zoom call, the progress that we've made. The city of Rancho Cordova has progressed through the years as well. And we need to honor the leaders who set Rancho Cordova on the path to cityhood and put our community on the right path. Now, we need to expand on their vision. It is time for the next generation of Rancho Cordova leaders to step up and do our part. Hi, I am Siri Pulapati, and I am running for Rancho Cordova City Council. I'm a mother, an engineer, and a community volunteer. I have been a board member of Rancho Cordova Government Regulations, and I'm a 2020 graduate of the Rancho Cordova Leadership Program, which develops and engages leaders committed to making a difference in Rancho Cordova. I have decades of experience as a senior engineer. I'm an excellent listener, problem solver, and advocate. At work, I manage a multi-million-dollar budget, and I see what projects need to be funded to get the best ROI. I will work towards supporting our local businesses using our tax dollars so we get the best return of investment and ensuring positive future development. An example, I've used my campaign funds to get this mask, if you can see. See, this mask promotes local business, is an advertisement for me, and is really useful for you, and it's free. As a mom, my priority is education. Supporting our local schools with quality education, looking for ways to provide vocational trainings for kids to get in from schools to work. And also public safety. We need to invest in better public safety to reduce response times and increase our neighborhood patrols. Now, you guys know Rancho Cordova is in the top 10% of diverse cities in all of US. I'm the only woman running this race. I'm the only woman of color running this race. And I would like you to help me make a difference, elect me to make a difference in the community. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And
Thank you.
Shop local, live local.
Words
Thank
to
you,
live
Siri.
by. Thank
You
you,
still have a
Siri.
minute left if you'd like, but
Oh. I think I got my message. I thought you blew the horn. I'm good.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Siri, for joining us at Campaign Whistle Stop. Okay, Lydia, we're rolling down the track. Who's next?
here we go. Next up is David Sander. Dr. David Sander was also elected to the first Rancho Cordova City Council and has been reelected 4 times since. He currently serves as our mayor, is the founder and principal of scientific consulting firm Sander and Associates, and has lived in Rancho Cordova with his wife, dermatologist Dr. Margaret Parsons, since the 1990s. Perhaps the only mayor in the country, as Shelley mentioned earlier, who also happens to be a virologist. Dr. Sander is happy to talk about the sciencey details of the coronavirus, or SARS-CoV-2, as I learned from him recently. And I have also seen his presentation. It's fabulous, so make sure you tune in on September 29th. So all aboard for David.
Well, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here again for a whistle stop with the Cordova Community Council. That was a great introduction. I don't think I need to tell you too much about me. I've been elected to the Rancho Cordova City Council since we incorporated in 2002. I've had a lot of leadership experience here in Rancho Cordova, either founding organizations or leading organizations, including the Cordova Community Council that's hosting this event, serving on the Chamber Board, which is also hosting this event, and creating most recently the Rancho Cordova Athletic Association, supporting all of youth sports in Rancho Cordova. But running for re-election this year is a challenging time. We are not in the best of times for our city or for our region or for our nation. And there's so much noise out there on the health front, on the political front, and I just want voters to focus on what really matters for us here in Rancho Cordova, because a lot of that noise, frankly, doesn't apply to us. We all live local lives with local government, in charge of our streets and our public safety and our schools. These are the responsibilities you should be thinking about when you're trying to decide who to elect to the Rancho Cordova City Council. So I want to share a few of my priorities with you this morning. First off, of course, is safety. It's the most fundamental thing we do as a city, is public safety. And we've got a great record in Rancho Cordova. We have an 18-year record of decreasing the crime rate in this community because we have been innovative, progressive, and aggressive in dealing with situations like homelessness, the status of our buildings, the quality of maintenance in our neighborhoods, and the code to which new projects have to apply. We've done a good job on public safety, but we need to continue that innovation. We need to continue those efforts, particularly in areas like homelessness that are really, really challenging. And of course, we've got safety in terms of this virus. And as a virologist, I can tell you, I always make this joke about, I'm a scientist and I'm a public elected official. And my scientist friends joke with me and say, how can you do that? And I said, well, there's the logical side of my job and the illogical side. And unfortunately, this year, they came together in a very unfortunate way. But I have a lot of expertise to help guide us through these coming months as we focus on the economy and economic recovery, as we continue to focus on revitalizing our neighborhoods through infrastructure, economic development, and fixing up our corridors, places like Folsom Boulevard. I chair a regional body that is focused just on knocking down the barriers to that sort of infill development that we could see along Sunrise, along Folsom, along Coloma, along Bradshaw, for that matter. So, the fourth thing I want to talk to you about this morning is the people. We have invested a lot in our youth and in our seniors and in the quality of life that we are creating and providing for our residents. The Promise program, free college for every high school graduate in Rancho Cordova, is an example. The new youth center is an example. The new pool is an example. So I'm asking for your vote to continue to make Rancho Cordova a superb city with good jobs, quality affordable housing, great schools, and places to dine, shop, and play. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We appreciate you. Next up, let's see. It's supposed to be Mr. Donald Terry, but I'm not seeing him as a panelist.
Yes, he is. He's there under Marie's name.
Fantastic. Well, in that case, I'll go ahead and introduce him.
I think there was an issue with the invite.
Okay. Well, we're all learning together, right? So, all right, Donald. So you're up next. Although Donald Terry is a relatively new to the Rancho Cordova City Council. He was first elected in 2012. He previously represented Rancho Cordova on the Sacramento City Unified School Board. He's a Community Investment Act officer at Tri-Counties Bank. Try saying that 10 times fast. And he also volunteers with several local organizations, including as a board member for the Sacramento Children's Museum and Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Sacramento. He and his wife, Angela, have 2 kiddos, and they love attending the air show every year. Donald once camped out on the IMAX marquee in downtown to get 100 men to sign up to be a Big Brother, and it took over 24 hours. It's kind of a unique story he's got there. So all aboard for Donald.
Well, thanks. And I'm not going to turn on my charity golf tournament, and my reception is not that great. It's kind of unique to be on a council for 8 years, serving for 20 years. But we have a great city. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I would
Hold on there, Donald. We're stopping the train. We're having a technical issue. Not sure how to correct it. Anybody have any bright ideas?
A good cell sound. So.
My suggestion is we move on to Jack while Donald finds a stronger cell.
Sound restarted.
I don't know if he's speaking or not. I think he might be.
He may have turned into a robot, it sounds like.
It's playing the harmonica.
Well,
Yeah.
I can move on to Jack
the
if
real
that's what you
Donald
think.
Please
David
stand up.
said, you know, we've had a lot of, the last 6 months have been very trying.
Yeah. I'm going to try to contact Donald offline. Go ahead, Lydia. Let's have let's move the train to candidate Jack.
Next up is Jack Zwald. He is a public health budget manager, and he manages a multi-billion-dollar public health budget for the California Department of Finance. He served on the Sacramento Public Health Advisory Board since 2017 and was the president of the Rancho Cordova Kiwanis in 2018. Jack and I have 18 mutual Facebook friends, and I'm not sure why we haven't crossed paths yet, but we'll have to see what the future holds. So all aboard for Jack.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jack Swold, and I'm running for Rancho Cordova City Council. I'm a member of Rancho Cordova Kiwanis and serve on its board as the immediate past president. In my term as president, we raised thousands of dollars for scholarships for Rancho Cordova students headed off to college. I am also in my second term as a member of the Sacramento County Public Health Advisory Board. As vice chair of that board in 2018, I brokered a partnership between the county and the Los Rios Community College District to restore women's health services on its campuses. In my day job, I manage a $3.2 billion budget as a public health budget manager for the state of California. My team and I have been working nonstop to secure the health facilities, staff, and supplies necessary to hold the line against this pandemic. In April, I developed what I call the Rancho Cordova Emergency Response and Resilience Plan. My plan would get our first responders and essential workers the flexibility and protective equipment necessary to do the jobs, provide immediate relief to families and small businesses, and ensure the continuity of vital services. A recent UC Berkeley study showed that parts of my plan would have saved lives and saved jobs had they been implemented. We face the twin threats of a new wave of COVID and seasonal influenza. When I am elected, I will move quickly to protect our community. As we move past this crisis, I will also work to rebuild our economy. My vision for our city rests on enacting policy that creates a new economic engine in our city, one fueled by lower permit fees and licensing fees, streamlined applications processes, growth south of Highway 50, and infill development in established areas of Rancho Cordova, and collaboration between business, labor, and city government to ensure prosperity, opportunity, and stability. And as the city grows, we must make the necessary investments in public safety to ensure that every neighborhood is safe. That's why I'm the only candidate in the race endorsed by our local firefighters, because they trust me to get the job done right on public safety. And it isn't just the firefighters that have endorsed me. I've also earned the endorsement of the Sacramento Region Business Association, the North State Building Industry Association, the Sacramento Central Labor Council, President Chris Clark of the Folsom Cordova Board of Education, and Vice President Karina Talamantes of the County Board of Education, among others. I hope you will join all these business, labor, and education leaders and send me to City Hall in November. It's time for a change. Thank you all very much for your time and attention.
Well, thank you, Jack. Shelley, do we have an update about Mr. Donald Terry yet?
We are trying to get him into a cell location where we'll get better reception, but let's keep this train rolling down the track. Hopefully we can return to him before we get, before we run out of time. So go ahead, Lydia. We're talking about Measure R.
Yep. Next up on the train ride is Measure R.
Okay,
Is that you, Donald?
yeah, I could hear Jack the entire time. Can you guys hear me okay?
Now we're hearing you, so don't move. Stay right where you are, and Lydia will introduce you to the group.
Well, I introduced him already, but
Okay.
once again, he's on the Rancho Cordova City Council, and he once camped on the IMAX marquee in downtown Sacramento. Those are the highlights. So take it away.
I'm never gonna live that down. That was actually 9 years ago, 3 days ago. Yes. So like I was saying, we've made great strides. When I think back to 8 years ago, when the impact of something like Measure H had invested over $50 million into programs, projects, streets, roads, trails. It's also created the most successful ones in the nation. Low-income kids much more than the traditional Promise program does. And I look forward to expanding that to a lot of other areas like we just did this past year, in including all veterans within our city to attend Folsom Lake College free. But again, there's so much more that we can be doing in working together, and with a global pandemic that is affecting, whether it's our businesses and our restaurants, people not coming into our city to work like they used to. We are going to feel a lot of pain in the next couple of years. And I think the tried and true experience of the city council that we have right now is what we need for the future. There's there's a big learning curve in being a city council member, I must say. And in 8 years, I've learned a lot, but there's still a lot more for me to learn. And I've enjoyed always working with our city staff and our community and working together to solve these problems that we've always had together, whether that is making our city a safer place, or getting the necessary resources so that we can invest in the least among us. Still less than 10% of our residents work within our city because they're not qualified for the high-paying jobs that we have in our city. So things like our Promise program, our partnership with internships for our high school students and our community college residents with this to work for the next 4 years, to work for you, our city, and everyone else. And so with that, I'll stop, and hopefully you heard that.
I would say we got about 90% of it, Donald. Thank you very much for hanging in.
Okay.
But we will look for.
My apologies for not being somewhere with better cell coverage. But
You're forgiven. You're forgiven.
If I could interrupt just a real quick second, I want to let all of our viewers know that this will be recorded and we'll have access to that. And I think in fairness, what I'll do is get some comments from Donald so that we can incorporate that into that. So
thanks.
We want to give you all the same opportunity.
Absolutely. Okay, blow that train whistle. We're going on to, there we go. We're going on to Measure R. Lydia, what's it all about?
Fair enough.
Measure R. Well, citizens will be deciding whether to approve a half-cent sales tax on the November ballot. The text of Measure R reads, to support the city of Rancho Cordova through relief and recovery, including repairing streets and potholes, keeping public areas healthy, clean, and safe, maintaining neighborhood public safety, supporting and attracting new and local businesses and jobs, preparing for any natural disaster or health emergency, and addressing homelessness and other general city services, shall the Rancho Cordova measure be adopted, levying a half-cent sales tax until ended by voters, raising $8 million annually with yearly audits, citizen oversight, local control, and investment during uncertain times with no money for administrator salaries. Whew. Speaking in favor of Measure R is Josh Wood. He's the CEO and co-founder of Region Business, a nonprofit organization supporting businesses and economic growth in the Sacramento region. Josh, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. Glad to be participating today and speaking on behalf of Measure R. Measure R for Rancho. I mean, at the end of the day, 4 of 5 council members put Measure R on the ballot because this is about creating a legacy for the city and securing the financial future of the city. We're in a time where we have basically a scarcity of resources, but an exponential need as far as for the city. Let's just say it this way, the state is not coming to save Rancho Cordova. And Rancho Cordova needs to be self-sufficient and be able to provide for itself. And so some of the things that Measure R are going to go to are a lot of the unfunded needs of the city and securing the base and financial future of the city. For example, we need to have things put in place in order to keep public areas healthy, safe, and clean. That's going to cost the city $1 million a year. We have a massive unfunded amount as far as infrastructure needs for roads. And this measure is going to help repair streets, potholes. And just to put it in perspective, the unfunded basic deferment cost for the city is about 80 million. On top of that, there's another 100 million to meet its capital improvement needs. On top of that, there's another 100 million needed just for its section of the connector. We're talking nearly $400 million at the end of the day when you just put in all the math as far as what the city needs in order to have the transportation network it needs to be really a competitor as a true economic center for the region. Rancho Cordova is the second largest job market in the region, or maybe the largest now. And so it's an important place that we need to have the ability to move goods and people effectively. At the end of the day, I think we also all seen there's a reality. Fires aren't going away. We have a lot of more issues that are affecting the cities with the COVID-19. And we need to ensure the city is truly prepared for natural disasters. And that means really having funds ready for resiliency, dealing with those types of issues, being able to help businesses as we try to grow and attract them. And then lastly, something I wanted to point out is this region as a whole has a massive issue with homelessness. Probably no one on here is surprised to hear that. But what most people don't realize is our numbers have doubled as a region over a 2-year period. And if they keep on the same track that they've been going, we could potentially pass San Francisco in the next 4 years as far as total numbers of homeless people. And as those numbers continue to emanate out of Sacramento City, Rancho Cordova needs the resources to be able to address those issues and take care of its basic needs. As I said before, the state's not coming to save Rancho Cordova. And from the founding of the city to today, the reality is that the state has done extraordinary efforts to take dollars away from smaller cities. It began with the triple flip when they created a plan to do a triple flip from the budget of the state that really removed a lot of dollars. We've been not prioritized at a state level when it comes to transportation funding, yet our local transportation department has an amazing record despite all that, where we've really been able to take every dollar and leverage it more. Finally, in closing, at the end of the day, every measure like this is a contract with voters, and that contract is only as good as who you sign it with. The city has been wise in its financial investments. It's kept its promises on Measure H and the Community Enhancement Fund, and it has really a first-in-class staff and financial management, from the city manager to the treasurer to economic development. So for the first time in the history of our organization, as far as with region business, I would say yes on Measure R, yes, because we need to secure the future for Rancho Cordova. Thanks.
Very
Gosh,
good.
we know there's a lot of information there. So the train has left the station at this point. So you gotta jump off at some point or another.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Who's next,
That's right,
Lydia?
because the need's not going away.
So last on our tour today is speaking in opposition to Measure R is Garrett Gatewood. He's a Rancho Cordova City Council member and owner of Business Computer Services of Sacramento. All aboard.
Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. So let's be honest. Right now we're in the middle of COVID. We're in one of the biggest economic crises we have. And the last thing I need to do is apply a tax that's going to hurt my lowest. We have over 25,000 people that are out of work. The city doesn't need your money. We have over $15 million in different funds throughout the region. And if we really needed to pull on it, we could to help out. The last thing I need to do is take some money from the lowest of our income. So if you look through the different things that people are talking about, there is no guarantee. This is a tax forever. So we're going to tax you and put this tax on forever for all our needs. It's not guaranteed to go to roads. It's just whichever way the council wants the money to go because it goes into the general fund. So if it was dedicated to roads or infrastructure or for business, it'd be one thing. The next thing, it's going to raise our overall tax. Our sales tax will now be larger than the city of Sacramento. We will have a larger sales tax or the same as the city of Sacramento, which is just crazy, which will kill our business environment. The last thing a business wants is more taxes on itself. And those taxes aren't necessarily passed to the business, they're passed down to the citizen. So we are asking people that went from 2 incomes to 1 income. So now 25,000 of my citizens, I'm going to go into your pocket after you lost your job and ask you for more money, which we don't really need right now because the city right now, because of great fiscal management, is flush to the tune of $50 million. So I can't, in all good consciousness, hurt my citizens like this. I would never put something across unless I could vouch for it myself or have my business pay for it. And I would never put this on one of my citizens. I'm sorry that we had to put this up. I'm sorry that it even got to the point where you guys have to vote it down, because we never should try to hurt our citizens or put the back of this kind of bill on you guys. I hope that you guys understand. I hope you guys vote this down. And I hope you guys, you know, just do what's right. This will never help a business. This is only to hurt people. And so thank you for your time, and I appreciate meeting with everybody on this train stop.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We had a few awkward moments, but we managed to make a complete tour of our city council items. I'm so glad you were all here, and just a couple reminders. One is that, first of all, to the candidates, our democracy really depends on people stepping forward and being willing to be judged by their fellow citizens. And so that takes a kind of bravery that not everybody has. And so to all of you candidates who are putting yourself out in front of people, whether it's on Zoom or any other way, to be judged, thank you. Our democracy depends on people being willing to do that. Don't want to let this opportunity go by without saying that. A couple of more opportunities to learn more about these folks. First of all, I want to remind you that we're going to learn more about all of these candidates during conversations with the candidates via Zoom at 6 p.m. Wednesday, October 7th. These will be 15-minute interviews with the candidates for Rancho Cordova City Council, conducted via Zoom, with opportunities for you, the voters, to submit questions as well. We have offered the candidates some prepared questions that we'd like them to answer. They have to do with homelessness, they have to do with their position on Measure R, and also in this interesting time of the world in which we live, their viewpoints on policing in Rancho Cordova. So we'll want to make sure, you'll want to make sure to be there to hear about those, but then be planning what sort of great questions you too would like to offer up, and we'll get to as many of those during our short sessions with each candidate as possible. So watch for announcements. In the invitation to sign up, you have to sign up and join us on October 7th for conversations with the candidates. Want to remind you as well about joining us for our special Rancho Cordova Luncheon evening edition on COVID-19 with Dr. Sander. That'll be with via Zoom at 6 p.m. Tuesday, September 29th. Again, watch your email for an invitation to sign up. You must sign up in advance, and we'll look forward to that very informational session. And then finally, we look forward to seeing you at the October Rancho Cordova Luncheon, when campaign whistle stop will continue on the campaign trail. We will be hearing from candidates for the Folsom Cordova School Board, California Assembly, and I think a couple of others. So with that, we're going to you're a heck of a conductor, Lydia. My goodness, you got us to our destination 10 minutes ahead of schedule. We could probably auction you off to Amtrak and get some good money for you in that new position of yours. Diane, before we close out, I just want you to have an opportunity to add anything that I may have forgotten. Are we good to go? Don't forget to unmute.
Perfect. Well, thank you, everybody. It is a pleasure to be here as always and share this information. Again, you also don't forget, everybody, if you haven't done so already, you can still register to vote. And voting, the ballots and things will be going out. If there's any way we can be of help to that, please let us know. But please do register to vote. I think there's some candidates on this call who can tell you how important every last single vote can make a difference. Just also a reminder that we are recording this. Hopefully I'm going to find some folks with some good editing skills, and we'll give Councilmember Donald Terry the opportunity to add some comments that you might be able to hear a little bit better. So with that,
And how, Diane, before you sign us off, how do we watch that recording? How do we access it?
Great question. What we'll record it, do a little bit of editing on it, and I will send Shelley a copy of it, and I'll put it on the front page of the Rancho Chamber website. And there's a lot of different ways we might even be able to put a link of it into an email blast where people can click and watch the video. So we'll please give us a week or so, but we'll do our very best to make sure that that's up and ready for you to go.
Okay, wonderful. Well, with that, thank you again, first of all, to our extraordinary conductor. Didn't she do good, everybody? Yay for that. Good job, Lydia. And also all the candidates and spokespeople for and against Measure R, thank you so much for joining us. This certainly beats an hour of Netflix, does it not? We will catch you again coming up real soon, and see you again in October. Until then, have a fabulous weekend. If you don't have anything to do on Saturday night, come on out and join us at Mineshaft Live, a great band. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Along, everybody. Vote for Bob McGarvey.